Guys, deluded, now I'm not going to say anything that's new. There's nothing new under the sun. Arsenal, we know, everybody knows whether you're in this club, whether you support this club, whether you work for the club in any capacity, or whether you're a pundit, football fan, or whatever. We know there's several reasons that's wrong with this club. To pin the blame at one sole person would be lazy and would be inaccurate. It's not just Stan's fault. It's not just Ivan's fault. It's not just Wenger's fault. etc. They all have a fair share to blame. But let's focus on Wenger. What you can be blamed for is on field, regardless of the money and things. Which we 1 minute there's peas, 1 minute there's not. On field, tactics, progression, league positions, players improving, all of these things, defeats, stats, all of these things lie on you because it's your decisions. We know the players ain't playing for you, and we know the players get away with a lot and they're not fit to wear the shirt themselves. But ultimately, you're the manager and it falls on your sword. And if we look at it from a different perspective, many different sides along the years, you've had many great sides, the Invincibles and the 3 title-winning sides in total, but you've also had many feeble sides with players like we've had good players, whether it's Alexis Sanchez, Nasri, etc. But the same problems in regards to mentality and approach remain. That falls on the sword, which is Wenger. So it doesn't matter where you pinpoint in recent years where it's your fault. Ultimately, what we're seeing now with last year going out of the top 4 regression, the one thing you could have claimed to have kept you in this job because you're getting top 4. I lost my trail of thought. Is the decisions you've made. This is the culmination of your decisions, both in regards to transfers, in regards to tactics, in regards to everything, and the dull, stale approach that now is Arsenal, whether it's Bournemouth, United, whoever we play, is an open book, is a result of yourself. And we're now having to ask yourself questions. I think honestly in your heart, Wenger, you're being selfish, and you guys, I love Wenger, but you can't do it now. You've shown it. Let's just go back to the Leicester season. If you want to say it's a fairy tale for Leicester, it is. It is a fairy tale, and it wasn't just Arsenal that should be upset about winning that league title. But I'm an Arsenal fan, so I'm going to look at it from an Arsenal perspective. We did not sign an outfield player that year, and if you remember the games where Giroud sadly went on his goal drought, where you put him in an inflated position where he's a good striker, but to be relying on solely Giroud, that's a position for the Omris, for the strikers that are getting 20 goals this season. Giroud's a plan B. You put him in that. He went on a drought. We failed to score in some games, like the 0-0 against Southampton. I remember that vividly because I'm there, and Ozil was losing his mind at Giroud. You didn't sign an outfield player. If you signed a striker, we might have got out of that game. And if we look at it, I swear we lost by 10 odd points to Leicester. If we don't even look at Leicester for a second, we go and retrace our steps that season where it went wrong. Gnabry. Whether you think Gnabry had potential or not, I believed in Gnabry. We know we need a winger. We know we need a rotation option. We know our bench is weak. Where's the foresight to then bring this guy through after wasting him away on several loans and the youth team and them things there? And if you're going to sell him, you sold him for peanuts. You sold Chesney for peanuts, even though we need a keeper. And you saw the way Jens Lehmann went. Whether you want Chesney to stay or not, I'm just trying to show you guys. Whether you believed in Perez or not, or he was a negative influence or not. You signed him for 20 odd million. You barely played him and you shipped him out. So you're signing players you either don't need or don't want or don't know what use they have. Obviously, some signings are just flops, but I don't believe that's him. That goes back into the IQ of the players. Like, what you actually see is this. Like, this is actually what it is. Like, you chose. I don't believe in coincidences. Nothing happens twice. But you saw the problems last year, both in your future and several players' future, what it had on the effect on the players. You've now gone into the same season with the same old nonsense and expecting new things. That's the definition of insanity. And I told you guys here, I sat here in pre-season, I sat here in August, I sat here in several different months and told you guys the same thing. And I said it was going to happen. I'm not no messiah, but it's common sense here. Like, there's a pattern here. One thing, that football's uncertain. One thing that is certain in football, Arsenal not winning major trophies at this moment. And that hurts me to say it. Like I said, we're not learning from mistakes. I don't believe in coincidences. That's one coincidence. They're taking the high road and believing that. I'm not saying Alexis is negative, but he's going to be a fighter. He's going to remain on Arsenal's campaign and his season with Arsenal. He's not going to listen to the noise in regards to the future. That is one, players are not like that anymore, but for several reasons. Two, that is silly because in today's market with social media, how can he not? And three, it'd be impossible for him not to think about his future subconsciously with every defeat, loss or draw. It doesn't make sense. Ox, whether you think Ox is good or not, I told you, man, central midfielder. Play the man central midfielder. He's now gone and he's thriving at the moment. You wasting him at right back. If you understand, you don't even think he was necessarily wasted, but if you don't have any intention of him, sell him. Ox, Alexis, several of these futures needed to be decided in July. Instead, you waited until the near enough the last week to sell Ox and the last day to get rid of Alexis. This is not forward thinking. Pre-season, a lot of these decisions should have been made so we know who we have and we know who wants to stay. You cannot defeat an army. You cannot be a great, successful army if half your soldiers don't want to be in a fight. You'll die. It's that real, and we have died. The top 4 looks like a myth. I've told you guys this. You need to get into the January month still in and amongst the pack. We're not there. You tried to build Arsenal into a fortress, and now it's become a prison. Like, you've become a prison in your own fortress, and you can't see it. You've embraced Wenger gets it on. It's wrong to say he doesn't embrace change and things, because he does. But one, the massive changes that are needed with the backroom that you've seen in notable announcements, it's happened too late. You've done it now. How many contracts you've ingrained yourself so much into the club. That is hard distinguishing between Arsenal and Arsene Wenger. And it's not fair on the fans. It's not fair on yourself. You need to stop being selfish to a degree. There's been no foresight in regards to off-planning both on and off the field. And this is why I made several vids, guys, and you guys called me negative. Fantastic resources, fantastic pitches and them things, fantastic players. But can I be confident about my club's future? No. Players not improving. 50% of the players need to be blamed, because ultimately they're the ones playing. But Xhaka, Bellerin, Mustafi to a degree, half of these players, I think they're good players. You're either not coaching them, you're either not getting the best system out of them, or you're not inspiring them to improve. Look at Raheem Sterling, Gundogan, all of these several players at City, Delph. They're inspired to improve and improve for themselves. Every side bar ours is galvanised. And when you're galvanised, you can do things. Look at the second half Bournemouth. They were galvanised. They believed they could beat us. So they smacked us in and walked away with 3 points. We're not inspired. We're not showing heart, consistency, commitment. The very basic things any football fan and any humble football fan and any person that follows a football team would like to see. We're not doing none of this. So until then, we're just going to go backwards. And I don't understand any Arsenal fan that still gets upset, because this is the realness. But I ain't got nothing more to be said, guys, man. Like, yeah. Oh, yeah. Giroud, Coquelin, and half of these players renewing their deals and then being sold, like, for peanuts. Like Gabriel, peanuts. Coquelin signed a new deal last year, gone for 12 mil. These nonsense. Now we know I've spoken about Stan being to blame for half of that. But yeah, there's so much things wrong with the club, guys, man. But yeah, let me come out before this thing cuts out, man. Guys, Deluded Guna, YouTube and Golo Kante, signing out, man. I don't even know the purpose of this vid, but ultimately, this is what lies with Wenger. I'm out.